Hey everybody, it's CryptoBirb Adrian speaking. Welcome to today's live stream broadcast. We are going to have and hop on an amazing Q&A session with a very interesting person, very interesting guest of our amazing partners of Chainge Finance. We are going to have an amazing interview with DJ Qian. But before we actually go and do it, you want to guys make sure that we are going to understand, like throughout the entirety of the show, the amazing features that the Chainge Finance app has for you. We're going to discuss cross-chain roaming. We're going to discuss decentralized escrow services. We're going to discuss so much more. If you guys are ready, make sure to stay tuned. We're going heading there right in a second. Amazing! I'm so excited, everybody. Welcome to this show. It's being broadcasted live to our Twitter's accounts, to our YouTube. So if you are watching that on YouTube, guys, you want to also want to make sure that you are subscribed to our channel because there is so much coming up on today's show, on today's broadcast. Today with me, like I said very briefly, I have DJ Qian, who is actually founder, CEO of Fusion Foundation, following his amazing and very rich crypto past, crypto history, also for the Twitter bio. Chainge Finance, of our amazing partners to the Birb Nest, co-founder of AnySwap, founder of Beat SE, if I pronounce that well. Lots of connections, of course, to the VeChain and Quantum. So very, very big persona here in the crypto scene, and I'm super excited for that. Welcome to today's broadcast, DJ Qian. How is it going? How are you feeling today?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to have a live stream here to speak to all the community. So thank you for hosting this.
Amazing, amazing. I'm super excited. You know, you and I actually briefly discussed it on the behind the scenes, on the backstage, you know, how beautiful and vast the Chainge Finance community actually is. You and I know that, but like honestly, I think there is so much on going on positive around Chainge Finance that it's a very big milestone already, I think, to have generated and have caused such an amazing community to grow. So well done for you to start with.
Thank you.
It sounds good. Sounds good. In case there's a couple of seconds of delay, which is of course possible because we're connecting from different sides of the world, just don't worry about that. And for everybody again who is new, we are discussing Chainge Finance with DJ Qian, who is actually going to discuss it in many details throughout the entirety of the broadcast. But before we get and roll to the straight merits and straight points of the benefits, I would love to get some brief introduction from you in terms of your history, DJ. If you were to be so kind, and kind of like get us a little bit more details about your past in crypto. You're such a rich person. How did it start for you?
Okay, no problem. It was a long story, but I want to make it short. I started my own career in this industry starting from 2013. At that time, I left IBM as the general manager for the West China, and
11 years.
Yes. No. It's almost 9 years. Yeah, almost 9 years.
Okay.
And I started by building a kind of Bitcoin mining chip, and then I also had my own business in the farming. And as you know, I started a couple of different projects, including VeChain, Qtum. These two projects were started by the company I own, BitSE, and I'm also the CEO of Fusion and Chainge Finance. And another project I founded is AnySwap, and it's also really very hot these days. So yeah, there were a lot of projects, and on a personal side, my personality is that someone who never stops building and never gives up. So I'm determined and well on my way to change the face of DeFi. I believe in the fair market and equal opportunity for everyone, which is not really happening today. And in my view, it's the core of the DeFi project. And now I'm the CEO of Chainge Finance.
Amazing. This is indeed a briefer intro because like I'm just having just sort of like bio printed somewhere on the website that I'm having a look, and it actually says you indeed worked for 11 years and 7 months per what it says on in IBM, right?
Oh yeah,
Before you rolled into proper full time crypto per se. In terms of the connections to VeChain or Qtum, right? I do believe there's a lot to be mentioned. Well, with your recent successes, in terms of being fully dedicated to Chainge Finance, right? So, why change? Like, what did trigger this change actually to propose change to the world?
the story started from 2018, early 2018, actually, when I started to build Fusion. Because at that time, even when the terminology like DeFi has never heard by anyone else, we started to build something related to finance. We called it crypto finance. And recently, starting from 2020, then the DeFi emerged, and we see the booming of DeFi. But things is not very ideal. It's not perfect yet. Based on the projects I have founded, like AnySwap and other projects, which is also related to the interoperability, I started to find out that um, there are a lot of things we still can improve. For example, everybody knows that AnySwap is a protocol which is trying to tackle the crossing. It's a typical crossing bridge, but every time when users they start to use, they always have to configure the network by themselves, and it's also very difficult for the users um, to have their, for example, the USDC on different chains to get to another chain at the same time. For example, if you have USDC among maybe 11 different chains, and now you want to get it onto the 12th chain, it costs you a lot of time, right?
Mm.
So this is also another problem existing today. But I think the users they need to focus on the business itself. For example, if you want to swap, if you want to add liquidity, if you
Mm.
want to get a loan, um, I think the interoperability have to be a kind of feature in the background. It should be an invisible feature, actually. So that's the reason I want to build something, trying to enhance the interoperability, and trying to have the best user experience for the users, so that the users only have to focus on the business themselves, not the process in the middle. So that's the reason I try to build a kind of application which can meet the ultimate goal of the DeFi users.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the reason I want to create. I want to create change.
Yeah. I think this is actually very good reason itself. Now speaking of my own perspective, as an investor, as a user, in the industry, of course, in DeFi, I can only confirm, how time consuming and actually nerve generating it can be to swap, out there, like from chain to chain at times. So many times I actually got stuck somewhere on the side, by somewhere in between chains. I have no idea how it actually just ended up, but on the migration from chain to chain, like I eventually, I think, froze some of the money that was flowing in there. So there is a lot of, like, the different, I think, communication issues between the different blockchains itself. And it does seem to me, having used Change Finance app on my mobile, having played it, have some money in there, it does seem to me that it actually, is just not that you're saying that the vision, was there to find it, but you actually did manage to achieve it, right? Me being the user to the app already, is definitely having this this kind of like behind the scenes vibe that you are not really being forced to go, as a user and solve the problem, fix it for yourself, but it actually, is already a ready solution. So I love it so much. But well, we've mentioned briefly, about, well, the cross-chain features, right? We know
Yes.
that this cross-chain interoperability is actually something that is the most essential thing, to keep it working in these layers. But well, could you explain a little bit in a bit more details, to all the viewers and listeners about, well, the necessity of the cross-chain features, well, within the Chainge Finance app, and other innovative features that you have out there?
Yeah. So let's start from the crossing feature, which is the interoperability solution provided by Change Finance. So from my perspective, I think Change Finance is the most advanced interoperability solution in this market. And it has very specific innovation elements on multiple levels. For example, theoretically, the Change Finance support all chains in the market. We support 23 different chains at the moment. Almost half are non-EVM compatible chains. So please allow me to use USDC as an example. We support USDC roaming among, for example, Fusion, Ethereum, Tron, BSC, Heco, OEC, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, Arbitron, Kronos, Aeron, Soluna, Aurora, and Algorand. So there are so many different chains. And in the 23 different chains we are supporting at the moment, there almost half of them, they are non-EVM compatible chains. So that's one of the biggest advantage we have in Change Finance. And a second superpower of Change is that the speed for the cross chain. So please allow us to imagine if you have 1,000 USDC on 10 different chains. Let's just assume you have USDC on Ethereum, Tron, Soluna, Algorand, and Aeron, blah blah blah. Now you need all of your 10,000 USDC on, for example, Aurora, because you want to buy something on Aurora. If you use the centralized exchange to do so, it might cost you over 5 hours. If you use the cross-chain bridge in this market, it probably will cost you around 1 hour. But if you use Change Finance, it only costs you 2 to 3 minutes. And just by clicking one button, all the USDC on 10 different chains will go to the specific chain you specify when you are selling these assets. So the speed is extremely fast, and it's one of the biggest advantage comparing to the existing cross-chain bridge solutions existing today in this market. And the third, I think it's also it's very innovative. We support the cross-chain aggregation. So if you want to buy the assets today from the market, you probably need to switch from one chain to another. For example, if you want to buy the token which only exists on Binance Smart Chain, you need to switch to this chain and try to use the DEX on that chain. But for the next time, if you want to buy something on Aeron, then you need to switch to that chain and using another wallet. So it's totally unacceptable for the regular users, and even more challenging to the regular users is that if you want to buy the tokens, for example, if you want to use USDC to buy ETH, so you only can choose one chain and have the liquidity only on that chain to serve your swap. But if you are trying to use Change Finance, based on our smart router, we can split your swap deal onto different chains. So which means, we have the sum of the liquidity on different chains in different dexes. So this is the most efficient way for users to swap. And all of these are we are using we are trying to help users to swap in the decentralized way. So this is very interesting and very innovative. Just to you can just imagine in the future if you are trying to buy any token from any chain, you only need to use Change.finance. You don't have to switch from different chains, to switch between and among different DEXs. What you need to do is only to use Change.finance. And the other advantage you can have by using Change.finance is that when you are trying to buy the tokens in Change.finance, you always have the best price because you have the biggest liquidity, and that's the liquidity. The liquidity you have is the sum of the liquidity in different DEXs among on all the chains. So
Mhm.
that's very appealing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It is. It is. It does sound well to some regular users, just like you said. Some of these parts may seem a little bit confusing in terms of that they are used to the need that the market kind of like expects them to solve the issues, right? Just like you said. While I personally, this is also kind of like confirmation from my end that when using the app, this is actually comes very apparent, just like you said, that it's actually self-sustainable. You don't need to go
yeah,
to an outsider, right? So this is
yeah,
this is very interesting. But of course, one of the utilities, one of the advantages, benefits that the users and myself have found as well is, of course, this ability that you can generate the passive income per se, right?
yeah.
So let's talk about that for a moment, if you don't mind. We are going to try to understand for all the viewers and listeners out there right now, uh, to what does apply, the time framing or liquidity pools. Like, how could you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, just as you said, there are two ways to have the passive income in Change.finance application. One is through the time framing features. So time framing features is very specific technology developed by Fusion Network, Fusion Public Blockchain, but it is very well used in Change.finance. Um, it's it's something similar to staking, but the difference is that users always have their assets staying in their own wallet, staying in their own address, because the time frame technology is trying to define the value not only according to the quantum but also according to the time period. You you uh, when you are trying to define a certain kind of assets, and you can allow other users to use these assets during this period, but after this period, the assets, the ownership is always going back to your own address. So that's a very secure way Change.finance application is trying to provide for users to have the passive income. And we support a wide range of um, uh, y- uh, wide range of earning for different type of tokens, in starting from the stable coin to some other mainstream tokens. So what users need to do is to time frame their assets, and then they can just wait for the assets to be matured. But as you know, we also have the future stacks integrated in our application as well. So if users they want to liquidate their futures after they time frame their spot, they absolutely can use the future stacks and liquidate their assets immediately. And the second way to get the passive income is pretty similar to pretty much the same as other DEXs are providing. It's a kind of liquidity farming. But the most interesting thing in Change.finance is that we not only allowing users to add liquidity for the spots, for example, the spot of USDT and the spot of ETH, but also we support users to add liquidity for in the future stacks. For example, the time frame USDT, it's a kind of future USDT with the spot USDT. The advantage of this pool is that users won't have any permanent loss. So what users needs to do is just adding liquidity and providing the liquidity for the users who want to swap from their spot into the futures, or use their futures, liquidate their futures into spot. So these are the two different ways in Chainge Finance to earn to have the passive income. And the passive income APY ranges from 5% to almost 200% APY. So it's a wide range,
Wide range. Yeah.
very wide range.
Wide range. Yeah, very well said. So far, I mean, I'm really enjoying this interview myself, and I hope everybody out there who's listening and watching this very interview, AMA interview, live interview with DJ Qian of Chainge Finance here today. In case, guys, you have not noticed, there is an actual banner just being played right now, just down there on the bottom of the screen, where you can actually access and enter the giveaway, exclusive giveaway for all the viewers. And this is actually, well, kind of invitation to everybody who wants to actually stand a chance. If you're on our YouTube, there is a chance to win 100 or 1,000 FSN tokens to 10 lucky winners. And the only thing you have to do is actually you check out our video description on our YouTube. So if you're not on YouTube, make sure to go to our YouTube to open up the video. And in the video description, there is an actual link to the giveaway where you can stand the chance once again to win 1,000 FSN tokens and to 10 lucky winners. And for doing that, in order to achieve that, you need to know the giveaway secret code, which is Chainge. 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 This is the secret code for the giveaway that you need to put in the giveaway link. And this is, guys, what are going to also have and enjoy and to stand a chance to win 1,000 FSN tokens. And I think goes beyond saying that this is definitely worth a shot. And having got to know from you, DJ, lots of, the opportunities out there. Of course, all the opportunities come with certain risk, right? So let's talk about and focus for the next couple of minutes about on the security parts, right? Because to the best of my knowledge, there was a certain challenge where some hackers, were offered to per your own kind of like penetrate your wallet, right?
Yeah.
With the encrypted seed phrase. So how? Tell me a bit more about that. I'm super curious.
Okay, our protocol benefits from the top-grade security. The patent DCRM technology was developed by Fusion Foundation in association with the top 4 cryptographers and the security experts such as Pascal Paglia, Stephen Goldfeder, Louis Gobing, Rosario Gennaro. These 4 top class cryptographers, actually they are experts in this industry, and our code were verified by them. So this is the first thing. When we start our project, we always think the security is the most important thing. If it is not secure, nothing else is important. And we have never been hacked, and this technology was also cited by the European Central Bank digital assets report. So I absolutely, you can find it online. Furthermore, as you mentioned, any user can encrypt their own seed phrase in the form of a QR code by using our Chainge.finance application. And only he himself can decrypt using the magic button in Chainge.finance application. Um, the thing worth noting here is that absolutely no one else can decrypt your QR code, and this is the main reason why your QR code containing the encrypted secret can be safely stored anywhere, uh, like in your cell phone or any other public cloud service, because even if someone else manages to um, get your QR code, but even a hacker, there is absolutely no way for them to decrypt it. And last time, I put a challenge on the internet, and I disclosed my own QR code, which contains about 100 Bitcoin. And I just want to prove it. It's 100% safe. So for now, my wallet is still very safe. It's safer there.
Okay.
If anyone hack it, you probably have known it. You know, all of this information and everything I have mentioned can be verified by any users who are interested in. They can do their own research, and we have a lot of articles elaborating these methods we put into use to protect our users' assets. And everybody can get online and doing their own research.
Yeah, this is yeah. I'm really kind of like interested how those actual attempts of hacking could have looked like, because when you did you actually just say that hundreds of worth of Bitcoin, hundreds Bitcoins out there, was actually stored, and like this enough is enough. This already is enough incentive, I think, for a lot of hackers to try to penetrate and invade the wallets. And so far,
Yeah.
there's been no luck. This is well, the way I read it, also like very very strong confirmation for the actual security features to it. So well done, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I think for all the viewers and listeners out there, it is very important also to uh, well, outside the security, which we already agreed is a very very important feature. you know we are talking about the flexibility of the app in terms of different directions that the users can actually use it, right? Because we of course got to discuss what actually just stays somewhere on the backstage and behind the scenes, what works in terms of the interoperability, for the cross-chain roaming, for the for all the features that we discussed so far. But there's one thing that we didn't discuss in terms of the benefits and the actual advantages, and this is the decentralized escrow feature, right?
Mm.
Well, how could you actually, because this sounds a little bit disruptive, right? I've never really encountered that anywhere else. Like, tell me and to our viewers and our listeners kindly what this escrow service is or what it does for the users.
In short, with a decentralized escrow module, users can benefit enforceable smart contract that safeguard funds until the conditions are met. So decentralized smart escrow contracts replace various type of traditional contracts and open up a new transactional era when it comes to like crypto OTC, the services, I mean the remote services, product sales, long distance collaboration over the internet, and etc. Because right now, the crypto sphere is most definitely in need of a safe and efficient way for users to buy, sell, and swap without a risk of losing money to online scams and fraud. The main advantage virtually anyone can benefit from will be security, as you as you just mentioned. No one will ever have to doubt the safety of an agreement, and will be able to do business with the complete strangers in a safe, decentralized environment, which is a huge step towards an ideal, secure financial ecosystem. As we all know, a lot of big companies they are building things like metaverse and Web 3.0. There are more and more chance for the users in the future to to do business with the strangers. So you probably don't know who you are doing business with, and you never met them before. But through the decentralized escrow service, it's very easy for you to do business with them. It's trust-free protocol. Another notable perk is indisputably the slow service fee, the service cost. Unlike any other escrow service provider, Chainge will only add 0.5%. It's pretty much close to nothing comparing
It's
to
super low. It's super low.
yeah. Comparing to 5%, 10%, which considered to be the best deal around at the moment. For the centralized escrow service, it's close to zero. And if you use Chainge, I mean CHNG token as the performance bond, then the fee will be 0.3%. So it's like 40% discount. So it's close to zero. And the speed is already self-implied, just like all other Chainge functionalities. Everything will be done in the blink of an eye with minimal effort on users' part. You will be able to handle complex transactions with anyone, anywhere in this world, without meeting or knowing each other. Just as I said, while having the certainty that all contract conditions will be met. So the whole process in this Chainge application is automatic and decentralized, which means there is no need for third parties' involvement or the arbitration or traditional escrow service that charge ridiculous fees. So no hassles. The model is also very easy to use. All you have to do as a buyer or seller, what you need to do is to discuss with the counterparty the deal, the terms of the deal, and initiate an escrow in the Chainge application, added collateral and a performance bond. I need to highlight the performance bond is something that protects you from the potential trust-related issues. If you ask your counterparty to add enough performance bond, then there's no reason for your counterparty to betray what you have agreed. So this is pretty simple for the strangers to do business.
I think like this combination actually of super low fees, 0.5, 0.3% versus, just like you said, 10% like you get out there in the regular world, or 5% even if it is, then it's already like entire like magnitude of a difference, right? 10 times less per se. This is already very powerful like upgrade, I think, in terms of advantages for the Chainge's users. But in terms of still the decentralized escrow service, I'm really curious because like let's say, because some people may be curious, in the chat about that. Can two completely let's call random users, just like you said, who never really talk to each other, right? They decide that they want to get a deal, but is it something that they can truly choose in terms of the person whom they're going to do the deal with, or is it something that it actually just that the system, the app, kind of like randomizes the person according to the needs?
The application we are building is not going to provide you to give you the counterparty to do business with. So theoretically, by using our application, actually we have some terms agreed online, no matter through the email or by Telegram. We have a deal agreed. Then we just worry about the trust. Then we can go back to use the Chainge.finance application, so that with both party we don't need to worry about the trust.
Got you. I mean, I'm asking because I was super curious myself. I've actually out of all these features, the escrow, decentralized escrow is something that I have yet to use. So this is definitely a good point for my own notice, and for everybody again. Before we go to the next point, with DJ Qian of Chainge Finance, I want to kindly remind everybody who's watching that on YouTube or on Twitter, we have a giveaway going on with a secret code, which is being displayed right now on the bottom of the screen, which is the change, right? Secret code is change. And the only thing you, need to do is to access the giveaway is to go to the video description in our YouTube account. And there in the video description, there is a giveaway link for which you need to have the secret code, and the change is the secret code for you. And you stand a chance as one among 10 lucky winners to win 1,000 FSN token. Token pool. I think this is very interesting for all the viewers and listeners. If you have not, guys, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you actually hit a thumbs up as well. Leave some questions and kind comments for our guest, for DJ Qian. And questions. There was a question in the chat that I already answered. For whether or not this is going to be like a couple of minutes at the end of a show for the viewers. And yes, we're going to have a 5 minutes perhaps window to answer some of the AMA questions from the community itself. So make sure, guys, you actually leave questions that you want to get answered in the comments section out there. DJ, I really want to also kind of like, have a little bit of deeper clarity and about the vision for the future plans that Changes having for now. For the sake of all the viewers and listeners and all the fans and the amazing community of Chainge Finance, spill some beans. Tell us more what's coming.
First of all, the feature of cross-chain liquidity aggregation, it's absolutely the top priority for our project at the moment. So very soon, if not by the end of March, we probably will launch it early April. That users in Change.Finance application can start to enjoy the sum of the liquidity in different DEXs on different chains, which means users, they don't need to go anywhere else. And we integrated liquidity, including Uniswap, Pancake, and any other DEXs on different chains. So this is the best price. This is the place which can provide you the best price when you want to swap the tokens. And if your deal is large enough, absolutely the deal will be split into different deals on different in different DEXs on different chains. So this is the one of the biggest priority, the top priority for our project in the near future. And after that, we are going to add more chains and the tokens. For example, I think by
even more chains.
Yeah, even more chains, because we are able to support all the chains in this market. As you know, Polkadot and Cosmos, they are very famous of their interoperability. But we are the only protocol which integrate the Polkadot and the Cosmos, these two ecosystems together with Fusion. And we are also providing the interoperability for the rest 20 different chains. And we are going to add more chains and more tokens by the end of this year. We expect to have more than 1,000 different tokens, which could be swapped in our Change.Finance application. And it's very easy for us. So users, no matter what type of token you want to buy, you can just go to Change, and you have the best price here. And also after that, we are going to build APIs and SDKs for other projects to use, including the cross-chain roaming feature and the cross-chain liquidity aggregation. And also, we are also considering integrating the overseas bank accounts and the fiat on-ramp and off-ramp, and the social module and NFT markets as well. So we are trying to build the interface for the regular users to enjoy the decentralized finance.
Okay. I mean, it does sound very, very promising in general with the liquidity aggregator coming up. I think this is some of the points that also some I think comments were referring to. So, but before we actually go and roll into this quick AMA with the community itself. And this is a kind reminder to everybody in the chat, to everybody listening and watching this live broadcast, live interview with DJ Qian. Please leave your kind questions to DJ Qian actually about, Chainge Finance, about whatever you feel like asking this amazing person. And please make sure to actually leave them again in the comments section. If you're on watching that live on YouTube, then I think it's transmitting somehow better. But still, keep them coming, piling up, and there's about 5 minutes until 5 or 10 minutes until we actually get the questions rolled. So if you guys are also ready to hear about the next point that I want to cover with DJ Qian, make sure you actually have listened, because I want to ask about why limiting just towards the mobile app? Why not have it, for the cross-chain roaming just out there, like Uniswap, PancakeSwap out there, on web-free internet browsers? Why just mobile phone? Why is it?
First of all, I think the mobile app is the future because everybody is using the mobile application. I think more than 80% of the Twitter users, they are using mobile app. 80%, more than 80% of the users of Facebook, they are using Facebook mobile app. But we all know it's a fact that the DeFi users, they are still using the web protocol to interact with the wallet. So I have to admit there is a big market for the web-based protocols. So we have our own plan to support a kind of Chrome plugin in the future, but we will still be focusing on the mobile app itself. Any advanced feature will be in the mobile app first, and then we will have another way for users to access, for example, the Chrome plugin application as well. So
Okay.
yes, we have been thinking about that.
Yeah, but this sounds like a kind of like a trivial solution, right? It doesn't sound really too much complicated. It just seems that this is where the users are, right? So you kind of like want to meet the users somewhere in the way, rather just create something that knowing that the mobile app. I personally use the mobile app, right, mostly. So of course it depends on a specific purpose, but I think, and knowing that it actually does regard lots of the mobile users, smartphone users, I think it's the right decision. Would you I think there was a couple of questions then. So would you be so kind to actually have a couple of questions by me picked that you could answer from all the questions in the chats, and this way we're going to have about 5 minutes to actually answer some of these. Is that fine with you? Okay. Okay, let's see. There's a question from Baron Egrat, and the question is, how could someone contribute to Chainge's decentralized model? Is it run a Fusion node or?
Okay. So as you all know, Chainge application is a decentralized application. So every operation you have in Chainge application, they have a hash. So actually, it's a kind of transaction on different chains. But all the cross-chain roaming transaction will be related to a couple of different transactions on Fusion chain. So yes, by running a Fusion node, absolutely it helps to increase the level of decentralization for Chainge application. And in the future, we will also trying to have our Chainge token to be a kind of DAO token. We allow users to vote for the different decisions we probably will make for our application. But we are still in the middle of building application, so that's the reason um, we will try to release that later, maybe late this year or early next year.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think, of course, there are so many more questions, but just trying to pick up the ones that are actually the most sound, because there are some investment related questions in terms of how much money can one make. I think how much money can one make will truly depend on how much money they will always contribute. So that's always hard to individualize those questions. But I think there is a question somewhere in the chat about the API, right? Because you gave the range, but what is the most actual referential API? Was it 73%, I think?
Yeah, the highest APY when users they are trying
APY,
to,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they are trying to have the passive income is for is are the pools of options. For example, the change call options with USDT. These pair have over 200% APY in our application, and also other call options and put options pools have um, similar APY. But everyone, if you are interested, you can just get on our website, Change.finance, and you can find our APY in the market menu. If you click the market, you will find all the highest APYs we are providing.
Okay. Yeah, kindly encourage everybody to go and check it on yourselves. But there's a question, I think, from Kelly Tassi. Not sure how relevant that is going to be, but how effective will messaging service like WhatsApp be delivering the OTP with
Hmm.
regards to change?
I have been asked by asked this question for a couple of times. Some
Hmm.
users they are asking why they are not able to get the one time verification code.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it depends on the service provider we are using. So we encourage the user to switch their signing mode into the different mode by using the Google authentication. So if you switch to the Google authentication, you will never need to have the OTP anymore. Um, and but
It's also safer, no?
yeah, it's also safer. And but if you haven't switched to OTP, you can. We will try to keep improving our service provider, because we have different service providers in different countries all over the world. We are supporting over 200 different countries, so it's quite,
Insane.
yeah, it's quite difficult for us to get a very high quality service provider to cover such a wide range of countries. So, but if you have problem, just to get into our Telegram channel and try to speak to our admins in that channel, and they will help you.
Yeah, sounds good. There is, I think, one of the questions as well to kind of like, close off the show with, perhaps from Baron Garrett again. Not sure how relevant that is going to be because it does regards DAO. So very interested in the DAO idea for change. Uh, any plans for that?
DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. It's another very hot topic in this market recently. So we also have been thinking about trying to integrate the DAO management tool in our change application. So that users they are able to create DAO by themselves, inviting users to join the DAO or manage the DAO in the future. But regarding this question, I think this gentleman or this lady is asking how we are trying to have change token to have the DAO feature in the future.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we are going to allow users to vote with their Chainge token to make decisions like the APYs for different pools, the projects to be listed in our Chainge application, because the community is always the most sensitive group. We are not the most sensitive people, but the community is. So we will rely on the community to give us some feedback and make decision by yourself to have the tokens or projects to be listed in Chainge application to support their options or features in the future, just like the launch box. So there are a lot of things we are going to do with the Chainge token in the future.
Sounds good. And it does sound to me as well, once again, that listening to the community, or at least hearing out communities' needs, is something that drives an amazing positive momentum for the projects going on. And this definitely does apply with Chainge Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final reminder from me before we close off the show, the interview today with DJ Qian. This is a final reminder for the giveaway we have going on right now on our YouTube. In the video description to this video, you're going to find a giveaway link. And in order to win, or to stand a chance to win 1,000 FSN tokens shared to 10 lucky winners, you guys want to have and put the secret code, the giveaway secret code, which is displayed right now on the screen. It is Chainge. The secret code, giveaway secret code for the giveaway is Chainge. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we've covered lots today on the live interview with DJ Qian of Chainge Finance, who's had such an amazing history with so many crypto, I should say, well, so many crypto industry parts people. And you are definitely one part of the game, guys. The community is something that matters. The community is something that is very important. Not just because I say so, but also the way that DJ Qian has showed so much respect to everybody, answering those questions. So I want to also show respect to DJ Qian's time generosity, because we've been talking for the past 55 minutes almost. And I know you're a very busy man, so I wouldn't be so heartless, definitely to keep it going forever. I want to thank you so much for coming on today's live AMA live interview with the community, with the people, with myself, and on behalf of on behalf of the Birb Nest community as your beautiful partnership side to the game. I'm very happy, very grateful, very thankful, and very respectful towards what Chainge Finance and yourself, DJ Qian, have been showing to us and to the community. Well done, congratulations, and thank you for coming over on the interview.
Thank you, Birb Nest.
Amazing.
And thank all the people who joined this live stream. And very soon in the future.
Amazing. Great job, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for today's live AMA interview with DJ Qian of Chainge Finance. This has been Adrian CryptoBirb speaking, and I want to see you guys on the next streams very soon. Cheers, stay safe, God bless, bye-bye.
Bye.